स्मृतापि तरुणातपं करुणया हरन्तीं नृणाम् अभङ्गुरतनुत्वषां बलयिता शतैर्विद्युतां कलिन्दगिरिनन्दिनी तटसुरद्रुमालम्बिनी मतीयमतिचुम्बिनी भवतु कापि कादम्बिनी रसवादस् we have to we finished with the fourth matam. We have to do bhattalollatas matam. So the way Rasagangadhara has arranged it is first katham rasaha utpadyate, and then he says what is the jargon that they use to utpadyate va illa anumiyate abhivyajyate. He specifically takes up those for each of those 9 matas and takes it later also. So we'll see if we can cover that also today. So the fifth matam here is anumanam. भट्टलोल्लटादीनां मतं मुख्यतया दुष्यन्तादिगतः एव रसः रत्यादिः कमनीय विभावादि अभिनय प्रदर्शन कोविदे दुष्यन्तादि अनुकर्तरि नटे समारोप्य साक्षात्क्रियते इति एके. So one set of people, AK here refers to bhattalollatādīnām matam. Mukhyataya is sakshat sambandhena. Sakshat sambandhena here is directly what we assume. So that there is this character who is portraying Dushyanta. Now first let us take, there are 3 steps here. One is Dushyanta is portraying. The second, the Dushyanta is the character who is experiencing Rati with respect to Shakuntala. Then there is a character, Nata, an actor who is who is imitating Dushyanta. So only these two people are our concern from this matam. The Samajika is not at all thought about here. He doesn't even feature in this Rasa Utpatti at all. So Mukhyataya directly Dushyantadigatah eva rasaha ratyadihi. So rasa exists only in Dushyanta. So Dushyantadigatah, Dushyanta who is anukaryam. Anukaryaha means he has to be imitated. Dushyanta is the original character and rasa or rati exists only in the original character. Kamaniya vibhavadi abhinaya pradarshana kovide nate. Now we are trying to bring that Ratyadi and superimposing it upon the actor who is acting on the stage. So Nate Samaropya. What is that Nata? He is an Anukarta. He is an imitator. So Anukartari Nate Samaropya. Whom does he imitate? He imitates the original character, which is Dushyanta. So Dushyanta the Anukartari Nate Samaropya. But this is not a normal Nata, but he has to be an expert in showing the proper abhinayas. So Kamaniya Vibhavadi Abhinaya Pradarshana Kovide. Kamaniyaha yaha abhinayaha. So this kamaniyatvam goes with abhinaya. Vibhavadi abhinaya. Vibhavadinam abhinayaha yaha kamaniyaha vartate tat pradarshana kovidaha eshaha nataha. So this nata is capable, he is an expert in displaying the particular abhinayas which are beautiful with respect to that particular vibhava. So if it is Dushyanta and whatever abhinaya will suit him, you have to use that particular abhinaya. Only then will that character become more dear to us. We will feel, okay, this character is beautiful. Dushyanta cannot do a Vidushaka's abhinaya. So that is where the Yogyata abhinayam comes in. So Vibhavadinam abhinayasya pradarshane kovidaha yaha vartate tasmin nate Dushyanta tasmin nate eva original Dushyanta rasaha aropyate. Sakshat kriyate cha, and we perceive only the rati that is there in the actor. We don't perceive the rati that is. So the original Dushyanta rati is present in original Dushyanta rati. That rati is being superimposed upon this actor who is capable of showing the particular abhinayas. And we see that rasa. Okay. So Dushyantadinam Anukarta.
How Rasave, he doesn't even talk about Samajika. How does the Samajika...
Where is the Rasa existing? Rasa exists only in Dushyanta.
Oh.
Original Dushyantatla avantana rasa irukku. You take that rasa and you think that it is present in this Nata. But what is the, that's why I said, the Samajika doesn't even feature in this matam. Okay.
Utpattivada.
Mate as anumitivada. Mate asmin sakshatkaraha, illa utpattivadanda, you're right. Utpattivadanda. So mate asmin sakshatkaraha dushyantoyam shakuntaladi vishayaka ratiman ityadihi pragvat dharmi amshe laukikaha aropya amshe alaukikaha. So dharmi here is the nata. Very clearly. So dharmi amshe, it is laukikaha. That nata is of this world. He is but the abhinayas that we are trying to do, aropya amshaha, that is the shakuntala vishayaka ratiman iti amshaha eva tatra aropyate, that portion becomes alaukika, so it is capable of giving rise to an anandam. So it does give rise to the Sahridayas Anandam only. He does talk about that Sahridayas, but it comes only after all of these things happen. First, everything happens only within the Nata and the Dushyanta here. So mate asmin sakshatkaraha pratyakshatmakam jnanam. Where is that sakshatkaraha? That jnanam is Dushyantaha ayam Shakuntaladi vishayaka ratiman. But that is the entire jnanam. The format of the jnanam is this. That is the pratyaksha jnanam that we have. But there are two amshas in this pratyaksha jnanam. One is the nata, who is the dharmi. And then there is this dushyantagata rati atra aropyate iti aropyamshaha is the second part. Now, which one is pratyaksham, which one is not? So there are two things here. Right? So the first one is you have sakshatkaraha dharmi amshe laukikaha sakshatkaraha. Aropya amshe tu alaukikaha sakshatkaraha. All. This is very similar to your fourth matam that he talked about, the Trividha Bodha. Very similar to that. So dharmi iti grihyamanaha nataha tasya chakshushannikrishtatvat sakshatkaraha laukikaha. Because we see that nata on stage, our eyes perceive that nata. This is a laukika pratyaksham. The aropyamsha is not laukika pratyaksham, so that becomes the alaukika. And that should depend on all the samskaras that we have, where we have seen so many other Sringara plays or read so many texts and experienced it. So that aropyamsham should be alaukikaha. So tasya aropyam dushyantatvam, where he has shakuntala vishayaka ratimatvam dushyante vartate tadrisha dushyantatvam asmin nate aropyate. Apo the aropyamsha is the fact, the quality of being dushyanta. That is, he is imitating Dushyanta. That becomes the aropyamsha. And that aropyamsha is not sannikrishtam, because we have not seen Dushyanta. And this aropyatvam also is not something that we only say the nata. We don't even think that he is Dushyanta. We say, okay, he's imitating Dushyanta. You cannot even have the experience that, this person is Nitish Bharadwaja Pata, Sakshat Krishna. We can't have that experience at all. There are people who do have that experience. How many people just, the Arun Govil, Arati ella eduthu ella pannirka. Yeah, they do that to real people in the world. But that is their experience. Adella inge connect kidayadu. So Bharata Sutra Vyakhyata, this explains that this matam very clearly in the Vyakhyanatla. Vibhavaihi, so it is a Mimamsaka matam. Mimamsaka matatvena eva atra bhattalollata matam uchyate. So Vibhavaihi janitaha, Anubhavaihi prakashitaha, Vyabhichari bhavaihi poshitaha cha, Shakuntaladi vishayakaha dushyantadau anukarye Vastavikaha Abhinaya Kaushalena Dushyantaditvena Jnanamane Nyayamane Anukartari Nate Aropitaha. So Vastavikaha, it is through the Vibhavas, it is produced. Janitaha, Utpatti. Anubhavaihi Prakashitaha. When he does actions, it is even more clear. It is brought to light. Vyabhichari bhavaihi poshitaha. When he shows all his emotions, that rasa is being nurtured there. So Shakuntaladi Vishayakaha Dushyantadau. So that which is already there in Dushyanta, that is being anukarye. He is the one who is being imitated right now. That rasa which is present in the original Dushyanta is Vastavikaha. Whereas Abhinaya Kaushalena, because of his expertise in Abhinaya, Dushyantaditvena Jnanamane Nyayamane Anukartari Nate Aropitaha. In the actor whom we think has the quality of Dushyanta, because of the Abhinaya Kaushalam that he has, we think that that rasa is Aropitam here. Now what happens to the Sahridaya? Sahridayahi Paschat Bhavanarupa dosha janya nata tadatmya adhyasat atmani sakshatkriyamanaha ratyadihi sthayi rasaha iti anyatra tanmatam. So anyatra tanmatam ityukte idla in Kavya Prakasha this is described. This is how Bhattalolata Mata is described. So by the Sahridayas, Paschat later Bhavanarupa dosha janyam, the same Brahmatmakam is taken here. And then there is a nata tadatmya adhyasa. We superimpose Dushyantatvam on the nata and Atmani Sakshat Kriyamanaha. In our mind, we superimpose that nata who has Dushyantatvam in him and we take both into our mind, and that is the rasa. So the rasa is actually because of the dosham where we transpose the entire thing like one seal, we have put it in our mind. It is not our mind which is reacting to the situation, but we have taken on that as a dosham into our mind. Yeah. Sixth matam. Kavya prakashe dvitiya matatvena upattam shashtham tarkika shri shankuka matam. This is the anumiti matam. Yeah. Dushyantadi gataha ratyadihi nate pakshe Dushyantattvena grihite vibhavadibihi kritrimaihi api akritrimataya grihitaihi bhinne vishaye anumiti samagriya balavatvat anumiyamanaha rasaha. Rasa has to be deduced. The way you say Parvato Vanniman Dhumat, Yo-Yo Vanniman Sasa Dhumavan Ityadi, Yo-Yo Dhumavan Sasa Vanniman Yatha Mahanasaha. Abdina, you have to go through the Panchavaya Vakyam in deducing the rasa. That happens very quickly in your mind. That's all. You may not go through the process 1, 2, 3, 4 in your mind, but it does happen in your mind. That is Sri Shankuka Matam. Dushyantadi-gataha ratiyadihi. The rati which is originally present in Dushyanta. That is again the same as in Bhattalolata's Matam. Nate pakshe. Paksham is always Sandigdha Sadhyavan Pakshaha. So Pakshe in the Paksha Sadhyam, what do we have to prove? We have to prove that this person, Nata, has Shakuntala Vishayaka Rati. That is the proof. I am Dushyantaha, Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratiman. Abdingarche, that Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratimatvam is the Sadhyam that we need to prove in this Nata. So the Nate Sadhyaha Sadhyam Sandigdham Vartate. If you doubt whether it is there or not. So Parvato Vanniman Abdingarche Vannehe Sannidhyam Parvate tu Sandigdham Vartate. We don't know. Atra Vannihi Vartate Vanava iti tatra Sandehaha Vartate. Hence Parvatam is called Paksha because we don't see the fire directly on the mountain. So we have to deduce it through a hetu called Dhuma. So because it is doubtful in that Parvatam, the Parvata is called Paksham. So we have to prove Sadhya in the Paksha. The same way here also, Nata, we do not know whether he has Shakuntala Vishayaka Rati. That is something that is doubted here and we have to prove it here. How do we prove it? We need other hetus here. The hetus are your Vibhava, Anubhava, etc. Vibhavadibihi, Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhichari Bhavaihi, Kritrimaihi api, even though they are not real, they are actually acted out by the actor. So they are not real, they are man-made. artificial. So kritrimaihi api, even though they are artificial, akritrimataya grihitaihi, they are taken as not artificial but real, because there is an equality. Samya atishayenangra. See, vastavikataya jnataihi, because there is so much of if this person had been Dushyanta, he would have probably, if Dushyanta was present, he would have probably acted like this. Nobody has seen Krishna in real life. But now, in this day and age, let's say, we have not seen Krishna. But if Krishna had existed, then if we had been in the time when Krishna had existed, this is how he would have probably been. We come to a conclusion based on the actions and everything that this actor is capable of showing. Yeah. So Dushyantadikataha ratyadihi nate pakshe Dushyantatvena grihite. We take it as Dushyanta because of what? Vibhavadibihi kritrimaihi api, because of, even though the vibhavas etc. are artificial, akritrimataya grihitaihi, they are taken as real. Bhinne vishaye anumiti samagriya. Bhinne vishaye here means that it is different from vibhinna vishayakatvena. Even though this nata is not Dushyanta, he is different from Dushyanta still. Anumiti samagriya, because of the force of anumana. Tadvishayaka kataksha bhuja vikshepa ityadi cheshtavatvam tasminnapi vartate. Because of that anumiti samagri, the wealth of hetu that we have, which gives us the idea that definitely he has rati towards Sakuntala. Balavatvat, anumiti samagriya balavatvat anumiyamanaha rasaha. So the rasa is being deduced here through anumanam. The process or the sentence of jnanam is in this manner: Dashyantaha ayam Shakuntala vishayaka ratiman tadvishayaka kataksha bhuja vikshepadi cheshtavatvat. When you have it in Panchami, that is the hetu here. Because of these expert qualities that he has, we are able to deduce that this person has this nata, seems to show rati towards Shakuntala. Yeah. Now he moves on to the seventh one. From here, 7, 8 and 9 are very simple. Vibhavadayaha trayaha samuditaha rasaha. They are not thinking about how they all combine together. Adala edumel. Samuditaha, parasparam militaha. When all three are present, vibhava, anubhava, and vyabhichari bhava and sthayi bhava. So these become rasas, but he only says trayaha. When vibhava, anubhava and vyabhichari bhavas are present, then the sthayi bhava is rasa. The Vyakhyata takes it like that, but there is no mention of sthayi bhava according to Jagannatha Pandita. In Sahitya Darpana, this matam is given in a form of a shloka. Pratiyamanaha pratamam pratyekam hetuhu uchyate. First, pratiyamana, prathamam, pratiyamanaha rasaha, pratiyamanaha prathamam pratyekam hetuhu uchyate. So whatever is seen, the rasaha pratiyamanaha vartate, tatratu pratyekam. Each one, vibhava is a hetu, anubhava is a hetu, vyabhichari bhava is a hetu. First, that is the first understanding. Tataha, the next step is sammilitaha sarvaha vibhavadihi sachetasam prapanaka rasa nyayat charvyamanaha rasaha bhavet. Then what happens is all of these three come together in the minds of the Sahridaya. These are capable of giving rise to that rasa. Prapanakam, that which is capable of leading you to the rasa. Prapayati iti prapanaka, the rasa which has to be attained. Iti nyayat charvyamanaha rasaha. So rasa aswadaha eva atra bhavati. So in this manner, when all spices come together, you have one padartha that is created. This is the example that Natyashastrakara also gives in Bharata's, while he is explaining the Rasa Sutra. He gives this example. Khanda marichadinam. Khanda is karpura khanda. Maricha, pepper. Pepper and karpuram, the eatable karpuram, edible karpuram. These things come together and give rise to prapanaka. Tappana sonte. பிரபாணக ரசங்கிறது பிரபாணக ரசம் நியாயாத்து. ஐயோ ஆபயதி. பானக ரசம் அதுதான். So prapanaka rasa charvanam iva rasaha charvyate iti. Now the tapa padichute. Okay, so mithaha vibhavadinam sammelanena. Just as how you bring in all these ingredients together and it gives rise to a product called panakam. We use it for Ramanavami. That panaka rasaha iva kavya rasaha kopi nishpadyate. This is also part of the Utpattivada eva. Like Bhattalolata. The eighth matam is Trishu yaha eva chamatkarakari chamatkari sa eva rasaha. Anyatha tu trayaha api na. There is Vibhava, Anubhava and Vyabhichari Bhava. So Vibhavas can be much more beautiful than the other two. Or Anubhava can be even more chamatkarakari. When there is no chamatkriti shunyam, when there is no chamatkriti, then nothing gives rise to rasa. This is very simple. If one is beautiful, then that one thing gives rise to rasa. Sayeva rasaha, that vibhavaha eva rasaha. Anubhavaha eva rasaha. Yadi chamatkari vartate. If it is very attractive, then that is rasam. If example, there is a dancer who does not look good, but the moment she starts dancing, the abhinayas that she gives rise to immediately transforms you and you think that she is Radha herself. Odissi I've told, I think Kelucharan Mahapatra, there is a dancer. You won't even think that he is a dancer. He will look like that, But he used to dance in his old age also. I saw him only in his old age. But then the moment he started dancing for Nathahare, Ashtapati, I only saw Radha and Krishna there. The way he uses his abhinayas, it's so beautiful. So if just the abhinaya is beautiful, that abhinaya is the rasangra in this matam. And the madri, you have to understand this. Anyatha, if none of that is present, if vyabhichari bhavaha na chamatkari, anubhavaha api na chamatkari, vibhavo api na chamatkari iti cheta tatra kutaha rasaha. Tari yadi trayaha api na chamatkari, then there is no rasam also. Okay. Ninth one, the last matam. Bhavyamanaha vibhavaha eva rasaha. Punah punaha bhavyamanaha. Again and again you are constantly thinking about only the vibhava. Then that will give rise to rasam. That itself is rasa. This is the last matam, where he says, because you need a basis. Bhittim bina tatra katham chitra rachana kuryat. You can't do a painting without an adhara. The adhara here is your vibhava. So vibhavasya eva pradhanyat tasya eva rasatvam iti navam of paksha. Okay. Now he moves on to how each one Parinamati. Panchamam Purvakramat Ekadasham Matam. Oh, there is 11th Matam also. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Vyabhichari Eva Tatha Tatha Parinamati. 10th one is Anubhava. Okay, sorry. So, in the 8th Matam, he said, Trishu Yaha Chamatkari Sayeva Rasaha. So, in the 8th Matam was it a little better than the 9th and 11th. Or 10, 11, 12, whichever. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, correct. So, because the 8th matam says it can rest with either vibhava or anubhava or vyabhichari bhava. Whichever is beautiful, that can give rise to rasa. That is rasa. Whereas the 9th matam said, bhavyamanaha vibhavaha eva rasaha ityuktam. Only vibhava is rasa. It is not anubhava or vyabhichari bhava. The 10th matam says anubhavastata iti itare. Only anubhava, which is the sthayi karya rupaha. So karanam is the rasa, was the 9th matam. The 10th mata is karya rupaha eva rasaha. The karya rupa here is anubhava. Anubhava eva rasaha. Next is vyabhichari bhavaha eva rasaha, which is bhavyamanaha is the rasa. Vyabhichari eva Tatha tatha parinamati. Tatha tatha ityukte, wherever this particular rasa has to come about, it changes into that particular type of rasa in that situation. So it is only vyabhichari bhava which is called rasa. Okay. Tatra. Now, with this, all the 11 matams of Rasa Utpatti is done. Now, he explains the Rasa Sutram and how each one interprets Rasa Nishpatti based on this. What is Rasangartha adutadu? Koyam nama rasaha iti tasya prashnasya uttaratvena ekadasha mata prastapanam. Now he says rasa nishpattihi kidrishi iti varnayitum. Again, based on the 11 matas, he is going to explain how the rasa nishpatti happens in each of those paksha. Vibhava anubhava vyabhichari samyogat rasa nishpattihi iti sutram. This is Natyashastra sutram, Bharata sutram. Tattan mata parataya vyakhyayate. Now he is going to show based on each particular matam. The first one is Abhinavagupta matam. Vibhava anubhava vyabhicharibihi samyogat vyanjanat rasasya chidananda vishishta sthayi atmanaha sthayi upahita chidatma ananda chidananda atmanaha va nishpattihi swarupena prakashanam ityadye. Adye is the first matam, Abhinavagupta's matam. Rasagangadhara also accepts only this matam, but he has a small distinction there as to what is rasa, where he says chidananda vishishta sthayi rasaha or sthayi upahita chidanandaha eva rasaha. These are the two interpretations that he gives. Bhagnavarana chitta eva rasaha or adena chidvishishtaha avaranaha eva rasaha. Ipdi he distinguishes. There is a subtle difference between the two. He takes both cases and says vibhava anubhava vyabhichari samyogat. What is samyogat? Is equal to vyanjanat. Vyanjana vyaparena vyaktehe, when it is manifested because of vyanjana vyapara. Vyanjanat rasasya. What is rasa? Rasa is equal to chidananda vishishta sthayi atmanaha. Rasa which is of the swarupam, which is of the form of sthayi bhava, that has chidananda as its visheshanam. It is confined by chit ananda. The other paksham is sthayi upahita chit ananda atmanaha. Rasa is the form of this bliss which is confined within sthayi. Va nishpattihi. Nishpattihi is equal to swarupena prakashanam. Solunga.
And the sthayi upahita and the திரும்ப ஒருக்கா சொல்றேளா?
முதல்ல வந்து எது is equal to rasamnu போட்டுக்கோங்க. The first case is sthayi is equal to rasaha. In the second case, chityeva rasaha, chidanandaha eva rasaha. Atmangardu in both samastapadam, the atma means swarupam. So sthayi swarupaha rasaha or sthayi rupaha rasaha. Inge chidrupaha rasaha. What is the adjectival feature? If it is sthayi rupaha, then chit becomes the adjectival feature. If it is chidrupaha, then sthayi becomes the adjectival feature. It's practically the same. But idhula vandu chitteva rasaha iti uktam, which seems one shade closer to Brahmanandam than this sthayi atmanaha. Nishpattihi is equal to swarupena prakashanam. It is just a swarupena eva prakashanam. It just reveals itself in the minds of the sahridaya, or the chit reveals itself. The sthayi reveals itself. So there is nothing else that is created or anumanam. None of those processes happen. It's just a revelation. Yeah. This is in the first matam. Now the second matam, Bhattanayaka mate. Vibhava anubhava vyabhicharinam samyak sadharanatmataya yogat bhavakatva vyaparena bhavanat rasasya sthayi upahita sattvodreka prakashita swatmananda rupasya nishpattihi bhogakyena sakshatkarena vishayi kritihi. Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhicharinam. Nobody has, they don't have different matams for Vibhava, Anubhava and Vyabhichari Bhava. That seems to be proper for them. It is only in the Samyogat and Rasasya and Nishpattihi. These three words are interpreted in different matam. So, you tabular column, you put it in the manner in which, Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhichari Samyogat, Samyogat, Rasasya, Nishpattihi, 3 column. In the first matam, what is Samyogat? Vyanjanat. Rasasyangartha, there are 2 matams, 1 and 2. Nishpattihi Swarupena Prakashana. For the second matam, Roman number 2. Now this is the case. Bhattanayakasya matam. Matam name vannalu eludhikongo neenga. So this is how you put a chart for this. If possible, I'll do it next time. But it's fine. So Samyak Yogat. Samyogat, he takes it, splits it into Samyak Sadharanatmataya. Samyak Yogat is equal to Bhavakatva Vyaparena. So this is Bhattanayaka, who is very close to Abhinavagupta matam. Almost the same. He just introduced a Bhavakatva Vyapara. So that Samyoga is not because of Vyanjana Vyapara, but it is something called Bhavakatva Vyapara, which ensures that this rasa goes and reaches the Sahritaya. From the Kavyam Vyanjana Vyaparena Tatra Sthayi Bhavati, and that Sthayi Upahita Sattva Prakasha Ananda. Adeda. The same Ananda. But the way it reaches the Sahritaya is, it uses Bhavakatva Vyapara to reveal itself, and then Bhoga Vyapara to create that rasa, to make that rasa enjoyable or Vishayikaranam, known in the Sahritaya. Okay, so Rasasya is equal to Sthayi Upahita Satvodreka Prakashita Swatmananda Rupasya. Rasa is of the form of Swatmananda, Atmananda, Swaprakasha Atmananda, which is Prakashitam, which is revealed by Sattva Udreka, the extra, the emphasis of Sattva that happens in our mind when the Sthayi Bhava comes together. So the moment that Sthayi Bhava is constantly at the, like a high tide, when the Sthayi Bhava keeps increasing, at that point of time, we experience as Atmananda. That is this rasa. Tadrisha rasasya nishpattihi is equal to bhogakyena sakshatkarena vishayi kritihi. So that nishpatti means we try to understand vishayi karanam bhavati. It is bhukti vadam dane. So enjoy. This rasa is enjoyed, or this svatmanandam is enjoyed in the mind using a vyapara called bhogakya vyapara. The problem with this matam, with respect to Abhinavagupta's matam, is he introduces too many vyaparas, which we don't need. Extra vyaparas. We already have Vyanjana vyapara, which satisfies all of these things. Why do we need a bhojakatva vyapara, bhavakatva vyapara, etc.? Vandame. That's the only difference. Okay. But the way they have explained is also very beautiful here. Now you go to the Tritiya matam, Navya matam, Vibhava Anubhava Vyabhicharinam Samyogat. This is the Brahmatmaka doshaha vartate. So in that matam, what happens? Samyogat is equal to Bhavana Vishesha Rupatvat. Bhavana is the Brahmatmaka Vyaparaha doshaha. Tadrisha doshat rasasya. What is rasa? Is equal to anirvachaniya dushyanta ratyadi atmanaha. Rasa is the form of rati which exists in dushyanta, and it is very difficult to describe. So it is a rati which is present in dushyanta. That's all. Pratibhasikattvena atra sahridayana manasi utpadyate. So nishpattihi is equal to utpattihi in this Tritiya matam. And that is because of the dosham that there is a superimposition, illusory dosham that happens. Is that clear? Now the fourth matam. Fourth matamum kittathata ide marida. Yeah. Vibhavadinam samyogat jnanat trividaha bodhaha vartate chaturtamate. There are 3 types of bodhas where you understand either as the prakara or visheshyata or the sambandha between prakara and visheshya. There jnanam plays a part. So vibhava, anubhava and vyabhicharinam jnanat, by just the knowledge of these 3 in some format or the other. Rasasya jnana vishesha atmanaha, rasa which is of the form of jnanam, nishpattihi utpattihi again. Even this Utpatti Vada he has just separated Utpatti into three different Vadas. Bhattalollataku munnadi Tritiya Matam, Chaturtha Matam, and the Panchama Matam, which is Bhattalollata Matam, all three have Utpatti Vada. Okay, so the first one is Vyakti Vada, the second Mata is Bhukti Vada, 3, 4, and 5 are Utpatti Vada, 6 எல்லாம் வந்து அனுமிதி வாதா. அப்படி பிரிச்சுட்டோம்னா it's easier to understand the 11 matas. Panchame Bhattalollata Mate, what is the case? Vibhavadinam samyogat. Samyoga is equal to sambandhat. So he does not say the word samyoga here, but the Vyakhana gives that. Samyogaha sambandhaha. Sambandhat, by the association of that, that is, we see that it is existing. And those are being superimposed on the rasa. Nate aropyamanaha. Rasasya, what is rasa? Which is aropyamanaha. Ratyadihi eva rasaha. So rasasya is equal to ratyadehe nishpattihi aropaha. So this is utpattivadam da, but it is more like an aropavada. Taniya unna pirikira. Okay. So which means 3 and 4 are Utpatti Vada. 5 is Aropavadam. Okay. The 6th is Anumiti Vada. Is that clear so far? 6th Matam, Vibhavadibihi Kritrimaihi api Akritrimataya Grihitaihi. That is a qualification for the Vibhavas now. The Vibhavas are all artificial, but we think it is real. So that qualification has to first happen. And then samyogat, what is the way in which we connect those three together? Anumanam. We put them in the format of Anumana here. Wherein we say the Sthayi Bhava is present in the Nata. Vibhava, Vyabhichari Bhava, Anubhava, all of these become the hetus for us. So that is why Tesham Samyogaha means Anumanat. Rasasya is equal to Ratyadehe. Again the same. Nishpattihi is equal to Anumitihi. Where do we do the anumanam? That should be very clear. Natado pakshe eva anumanam kriyate. Not in the mind of the Sahridaya. Sahridayana pati yojikalangra. He's not concerned about them, but the Sahridaya does this anumiti in the nata. Just as how you look at a mountain and do the anumiti of vanni, you look at the nata and you do an anumanam at that point. Saptame, Vibhavadinam Trayanam Samyogat, Samudayat. Just each one is present. That's all. There is, how do they combine? ஒரு பொட்டியில எல்லா விதமான மார்பிளையும் போட்டோம்னா எப்படி இருக்குமோ? ஒரு 4 கலர்ல இருக்கிற கூழாங்கல்ல சேர்த்து ஒரு பொட்டியில போடுறோம் வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். அந்த மாதிரி இருக்குங்க. That's all. There is no mixing of all of these things. It is just the everything is there in one particular box. 3 different color stones are put inside. Then rasa nishpattihi happens. So that is when we use the word rasa. Nishpatti adalla illa. Rasa pada vyavaharaha kriyate. This samudayam itself is called rasa. Very clear, no? Whether Vyanjana happens, how is Vyanjana, what is happening, all of those kind of things are. This shows that people have started moving towards something more subtle and subtle and subtle. These are all sthula way of looking at things. You have to go more subtle to understand. Illana point illa. Ashtame mate vibhavadishu samyak yogat chamatkarat. So this is vibhavanam samyak yogat chamatkaraha eva. So either of those, whichever is chamatkari, that is rasa. So that yogaha involves chamatkara, samyogaha. It should be mixed in such a manner that it is very beautiful. One of those is very beautiful, then that one becomes the rasa. Tadevam paryavasitaha trishu mateshu sutra virodaha. Now what happens is, in the last 3 matam, vibhavaha eva rasaha, anubhavaha eva rasaha, vyabhichari bhavaha eva rasaha iti chet, it is in contradiction to the Rasasutram itself. Because Rasasutra very clearly says, Bharata's Rasa, Samyog, all three should be present there. Then if Vibhava alone is enough, if someone just dresses up as Shakuntala and comes and stands there, is that enough? It is not. That's what he says. You need that particular. Then how is one character able to evoke so many different emotions? Yeah, adha. So with this, Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhicharinam Ekasyatu, Rasantara Sadharanataya, Niyatarasa Vyanjakata, Anupapattehe, Sutram Militanam Upadanam. From here, we will probably do next time. Okay. And then we will start with the Sringara Hasya Karunam. Okay.